For teams free safety. I just learned off who they have listed in their depth chart as their top free safety. Some of these guys can also play strong, so I just went off of who do they have listed as your safety on their depth charts. So yeah, so at 32, had Jason Pinnock of the Giants going this third year. He did better. He like developing better than he did last year than he did his rookie year. Still isn't that good. And now he doesn't have Xavier McKinney right next to him because McKinney's now the Packers, and so you'll see. And they also do have Tyler Nubin, high state two pick out of Minnesota rookie, so he probably will get some playing time as well. So you're kind of hoping Nubin probably hopefully be one of your starters at safety by the end of the year. But still, they don't. I think they don't struggle to replace Xavier McKinney this year. Yeah, oh yeah. At 31, at Damar Hamlin of the Bills. Like a couple of years ago, he had that very serious, not looking good injury against the Bengals in that night game. He he was available for most of the season last year for the Bills, but until later on in the season, they healthy scratched him almost every game last year. It's like that also shows you they didn't trust him a ton to at least have him as even as a backup or special teamers. Like before that injury, he looked fine as a backup safety for the Bills. So they'll see. I just don't think he'll be that great, and now he's gonna be a main starting safety because they don't have much of safety at this rate. They have Taylor Rapp and him. They don't have a ton else behind them in depth wise. So yeah, at 30, at Tony Adams, he will be a main starter this year because they Jordan Whitehead left and he's back on the Buccaneers. So yeah, so yeah, him and Ashton Davis, they're both all right. Sorry, Adams, he's all right. I'm just not super high on him. He'll be fine. Safety for them. At 29, Juan Martin of the Commanders going to the second year for a second round pick in 2023. I mean, sorry. Yeah, he had a right rookie year. Just like between him and Jair Brown, it really came out. I'm a little higher on Brown, especially with all that defensive talent he has around him. Jair Brown does over Martin. I think they're both close. It's just Brown has a lot more talent around him versus Martin in that secondary. They do not have much talent. Tim Martin should be good. Should develop and be even better as a sophomore. And like he might be like their best secondary player this year if he does good because they do not have a. So yeah, and 20 Jair Brown of the Niners going to second year, third round pick last year at Penn State. He had a right rookie year, but I think he'll develop and be even better. He is so development was help. They're hoping he steps up because Talanoa Hufunga he is coming back from torn ACL, so we'll see if he's 100% right away. So we'll see. Brownie should be good. So yeah, at 27, I have Malik Hooker of the Cowboys. They just send him to keep him back that extra year. That's him in the fall. He was only a top five first round pick by the Colts, 2017. Is the best for them. He's all right safety, but like, how does he do now? Because like he's gonna be the main starter at safety because they don't have Jaron Curse anymore. Who like they split they like to split the playing time between him. Like they like to play Curse a lot, even though he wasn't really technically starting safety. So now, how's he deal without having that extra help? Without having all those, they'll still probably get some snaps options. Like they might probably won't get some less because they do not have a great. They don't really have a great backup safety now. So yeah, at 26, I have Nick Cross of the Chiefs. I think it's a former. This is his third year, former third round pick. I think it's somewhere either like third or fourth. He was somewhere around there. So yeah, he's shown some flashes first 2 years. I think his rookie year he didn't really play because he's still in Long Thornhill at the time. He's now in the Browns, second year with the Browns. So we'll see how Cross does. But I just think he'll develop and be even better than Hooker. Yeah, I like Cross. Then 25 of Darnell Shamage. Now the Jaguars from like the Packers. He's had some up and down years. Like he's had some good years with the Packers and he's had some bad years. So last year he was not that good. Like there's a reason they didn't even think about keeping him at one of the safeties and just adding McKinney and having him at strong and free. It's like Obviously, McKinney's an upgrade because I'm talking about McKinney a lot later in this. Yeah, like Savage, he's just not that good. So yeah, he's a right player, but I do think it was an overpay by the Jags. They also they also under Cisco strong. They have him as listed as their strong safety. You can also play. He also does play some free. They have Savage played free safety with for the Packers, so that's what. And they have him, Jaguars have him listed as their starting free safety. By the way, I just didn't really like Savage that much. He's just really an up and down player. They're still a decent player. So that's for that side. Now let's go 24 through 16. 24 are Brian Cook of the Colts. Sorry, guys. I got Nick Cross and Brian Cook mixed up. Cross is on the Colts. Brian Cook is on the Chiefs. I'm sorry. I, they were drafted the same draft. It's around the same. So I'm sorry about that. So yeah, they're staying the same rankings. I just accidentally said the wrong teams with them. So yeah, so what's wrong side? So yeah, let's go back to Nick Cross shortly. So Nick Cross is on the Colts. He was been more of a starter last year. It was his rookie year. They had Rodney Thomas, a late round pick in the same draft that came out of nowhere. But yeah, Cross he's been their main starter. He was fine. Hopefully he'll get developing even better. So now let's go to Brian Cook. Sorry. It's pretty much the same things about that I said for Cross on the Chiefs, just I'm a little higher in Cook. And I think Cook's gonna be a good player. It's like the same thing with him. Like he sat his rookie year behind Thornhill. I'm sorry about the mix up. Like I don't know why I said that. He Cook was with the Colts and they're the host teams, but yeah, they're both good young players. And 23 of Jimmy Ward of the Texans. Like if it was based off these last couple years, he'd probably be a little higher. Just he's 33, so I think he's probably bound for a little bit of decline. He's also some injuries, but he's still a good player. It's just when the guy gets to 33, especially at athletic position like say cornerback or safety, they can start declining a little faster. So I think it's probably gonna start happening soon. I still think Ward's a good player. Then 22 of Xavier Woods of the Panthers. Woods, he's had a lot of good years. So yeah, so like he's been like this is his third team. He's been Panthers, I think, third year now. He's been good for them. It's like a good year with the Vikings. Had some good years with the Cowboys. It's been a good safety. Yeah, he's just that. He's just good. Then 21, I have Reed Blankenship with the Eagles, going into the second year as a starter now. So yeah, like he was all right last year, but this also was his first season as the main starter because the year before they had C.J. Gardner Johnson all year. They had somebody else. I can't think of who, but yeah. But he's still been fine. He's still been fine for them. So yeah. And then at 21, I had John Johnson of the Rams. Johnson, he's been good for a while. This is his second year and his second stint with the Rams. He's been with the formerly was with the Browns. So he's been a good player for them. He's only in his late 20s, so he's not even that old, even though it feels like he's been in the league a while. He's a good player. Then 19, I have Cam Bynum or Cameron Bynum. That's him in college at California. He did play corner in college. So yeah, this will be his fourth season. Fourth season is safety because in college he was always a corner. But the Vikings drafted him, they moved him to corner. He's gotten better every year. But also they have Josh Metellus, who was like a third safety technically, but like he can also take some snaps from Bynum because Metellus is a good like third. He's a really good third safety. Metellus plays like everywhere. So yeah, Bynum, he's a good safety. I'm just a little higher on some of these other guys, and most of these other guys don't have like a third guy that another guy that probably takes some snaps away from him. So yeah, and 18, a little Gilman of the Chargers. Like I think he's been good for them, but I think part of instructions having a great safety next to him and Derwin James. It's like you still have to be a good player, even if you have a really good safety next to you, it doesn't like you're a bad player still show, but I think it helps. You have a great safety and Derwin James. Like Gilman, who's still a good player. So yeah. At 17, have Thornhill. He's going for the Browns. He's going to second with the Browns in the previous 4 years of the Chiefs. He was up and down with the Chiefs. Like he had some decent years, he had some good years, he had a bad year. Like he was all over the place. He had a decent year with the Browns this last season. So hopefully, second year in this scheme will help him, and he'll have an even better year. I was not a huge fan of Thornhill. That's really it. But I still think Thornhill's a good player. And 16, I have Julian Love with the Seahawks. This year, we beat a full time for this is sticking with the Seahawks, formerly the Giants. His first season with the Seahawks is their official full time starter. So last year, they did have Quandre Diggs, they had Jamal Adams, who are both now gone. They both released them. So Zoo, even in New York, he wasn't really the Giants. He wasn't really a main starter. Like he was kind of a rotation piece there too with safety. Well, if he's a good player, it's just how does he do as a team's main starting safety? Because yeah, so let's see. But I still like him. So yeah. Now that's it for this side. Now let's go through the next one, 15 through 6. 15, I have Geno Stone. Formerly, Geno Stone football. Geno Stone. So yeah, he's now of the Bengals. So I know he signed somewhere else. Formerly the Ravens. He was good for the Ravens. They're hoping Stone can be a good replacement for Jesse Bates because they were terrible without Jesse Bates last year, but you could tell they missed him when he left for the Falcons. So you got how does Stone do as a main starting as their top starting safety because in Baltimore he was did get some a lot the decent amount of starting time just because Cal Hamilton doesn't play in the slot that's Nichols a lot, but still like how's Stone do without guys like Marcus Williams and in this next spot and Kyle Hamilton right next to him helping him. And also, how's he do outside Mike McDonald? Because his best 2 years so far in his career with Mike McDonald, he doesn't have him as a coach anymore. And yeah, so yeah. At 14, and Marcus Williams of the Ravens. Speaking of the Ravens, so yeah, he's been alright for them, but he's I think he's definitely I think he's not a terrible safety. He's just got a huge contract, so I think he's a little bit overpay. He's still a good player. I just think some of these guys ahead of him will develop more and get a little better than him, and he might decline a little bit. Even though he's only 27, soon to be 28, but still, I just think he may struggle, especially with being like getting a lot more playing time without a guy like Stone potentially taking some of that away from him and giving Williams some more rest. So yeah, at 13, Kirby Joseph with the Lions. Like he had a good year. He had a good year for them last year. See how he does. Like they now don't have CJ Gardner Johnson for the whole season. They didn't have Gardner Johnson for a lot of the year last year because of injury, but they still had him. He was still good for them. He's now back on the Eagles. So yeah, but also I think he'll be good for them. And I think so. Yeah. And 12, I have Brandon Jones of the Broncos, now formerly the Dolphins. He was good for the Dolphins. It's just that's why. And then how does he do with the new team, and how does he do being a team's number one safety? Because they got rid of Justin Simmons. It's a long time great safety for them. Who's now on the Falcons? He recently just signed there. So yeah, still think Jones would be a good player because even in Miami he had a guy like Javon Holland next to him this whole time there, pretty much this whole time as a starter. So see, but I still like Brandon Jones obviously since I have him this high. At 11, I have Amani Hooker of the Titans. He's good. It's like he's a good. He's been good for Titans. Just got some injury questions, but I still think he'll be good. And like yeah, it's not. It's not like a lot of these guys have not on a consistent basis for a long time had to be a team's main number one safety because Amani Hooker until mid season last year was their number two because they still have Kevin Byard, who's had some really good years with them. Who's now on the Bears, but they traded him at the deadline last year to the Eagles. So yeah, and ahead of him, I have his former teammate Kevin Byard, now the Bears. Like if this based off his like just 2 years ago, he'd be higher. But like this past season, struggled with the Eagles. He was a little better with Titans, so maybe he can still get back to that form. But still, I don't think he can get back to like his prime years at this point. and he's 31, so it's not exactly young. So yeah, but I still like Bayard, which is why I still have him in the top 10. Number 9, I have Jabril Peppers of the Patriots. He's been really good for them. So yeah, it's like I think he still will be good for them, but also it's not like I said, same thing about their cornerback room. How do they do without like much pass rushers like with Judon gone? Because Judon was easily their best pass rusher. They're all right again to quarterback, but they're not great. So yeah, that always because like same thing with quarterbacks. Like if you don't have a great pass rush, you can only cover for so long before a guy gets open on you because you can't cover forever. So yeah, the number 8, I have Tyrann Mathieu of the Saints. He's had a lot of good years. Like had some good years. He's had a couple of good years with the Saints now. He's had some good years. He had some really good years with the Chiefs. He had some really good years with the Cardinals before that. It's really good safety. It's just he is. Let's see here. He is 32. So like, how much longer can he keep this up? But he's still in his hometown because he is from Louisiana, New Orleans, and yeah, he went to LSU. So yeah, still a good player though. Number 7, I have Trevon Moehrig of the Raiders. Like he's been good for them. This is like a little bit of an upside pick from him this high, and some of these guys like Matthew and Bayard declining a little bit. Manly Matthew, I just don't think our thing is like getting to the point in their career where they might decline a little bit. They're still be good players, obviously, since I still have them this high. But yeah, I just think Bayard Maury's development getting a little better potentially, and Matthew's potential a little bit decline is why I have Maury ahead of him. And same thing with him against Peppers. I just think Maury can get better versus kind of know what he have in Peppers, which is still a good player. Still though, you just kind of know. So this is really based on upside for Maury, him potentially getting back to his like great rookie year. So yeah, the number 6 at Budda Baker of the Cardinals. It's been really good for the while for the Cardinals. Like past few years, he's been like them and their other safety have been the Cardinals' only bright spots in that secondary because their cornerback room for a while has been terrible, but he's been great for them. He still is great. So yeah, he's a really good player. He was part of that. He was the safety that got the pick and then got chased down by DK Metcalf right down the field a few years ago. A lot of people feels like I still see that every once in a while on social media. So yeah, but he's a really good safety. So let's go through to the top 5. 5 of Javon Holland of the Dolphins. He's going to his 4th year. He's been really good for them. Like he's like the main guy that's been there for a while in that secondary now. Jones is gone. Xavier Howard's now gone. So like Jalen Ramsey's only in his 2nd year. Kendall Ford is his 1st year there. So yeah, he's been on the Dolphins the longest time out of their starters in that secondary. It's been really good for them. So yeah. Number 4, I have Xavier McKinney, 1st year of the Packers. For the first 4 years of his career with the Giants. He was great with the Giants. And now he has some good secondary help again with the Packers because they got good cornerback room. They got some questions at the other safety, but still, Kenny's really good. So yeah. And then number 3, I have Antoine Winfield Jr. of the Buccaneers. The son of Antoine Winfield Sr., a great long-time NFL secondary DB. So yeah, Winfield is great. He had a really good year last year after a down year, kind of a down year before that, but he's still really good. So yeah. The number 2, I have Jesse Bates of now the Falcons, 2nd year there. Formerly was with the Bengals before that. He's really good with Bengals. A lot of people were surprised when they let him walk, but like they kind of didn't want to give that much money. Didn't think it was really worth it. But he proved this last year with the Falcons. He was well worth that contract they gave him. He was great. I just think now it's actually a good safety next to him, and Justin Simmons, who I still think is a good safety, it will help them because like last year they had a lot of questions at safety, and they should have got an upgraded pass rush with Matthew Judon coming in from the Patriots. So yeah, that should also help. So they also have had some big questions at the pass rush. And he's got a great corner in AJ Terrell, and they got some potential corners next to him, so that also helps. But yeah, just Bates, he's really good. But number one, I am Micah Fitzpatrick of the Steelers. He's been really, really good since he came in from he got traded halfway through his second season of the Dolphins to the Steelers. I just don't really know why the Dolphins ever traded him. And like, could you imagine a guy like Minka Fitzpatrick and Javon Holland that secondary in that safety duo? Like, they might not do a guy like Holland might not do as great as a strong safety because not some safeties can play both, but not everybody can play both free and strong. Some can struggle where at one versus the other, but still, like Fitzpatrick was great. He didn't do as good with the Dolphins when he was there. He was still young, so it's like let's see. But yeah, like him and Holland would be a great safety duo. Like if it was safety duo rankings, like assuming Dolphins still got Holland because maybe they wouldn't have drafted Holland if they had this Patrick. It's like honestly, you wouldn't have needed a good safety because when the Dolphins drafted Holland, they were not very good at safety. But yeah, Fitzpatrick, he's really really good. It's been good for a while for the Steelers. Like for a while, he's also been like their only good secondary player because they also had our former 2018 first round pick as safety Trellmans for a while. He was not that good. Like they've had a lot of questions at second corner. Now they have Joey Porter Jr. So yeah, thanks Patrick. He is a great player. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have a good one.